Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi Console Arc Edition. Last time we left off with a choice. I stated that I think waiting here is the best option because I think Ye's a fucking psychopath. While I think the top one's kind of fun because we learn about I really want to know what the fuck Shion's doing. But we are going for the true ending first, and according to the chart, I was right. Waiting here is better. Now, I don't know if it's for the reason that I'm thinking of, you know, she's a fucking psychopath, but we're waiting here. For some reason, I think that all, like, the bad endings will teach us about the characters, maybe. Like, each of them. But I could be wrong. Just as, like, I don't know. Like, going with Shion feels like you'll learn what Shion's doing. Searching, or I don't even know what the other options are in the context, because I kind of forgot. But, anyways, let's just see what happens. Otobe was still hesitating, looking back and forth between Sonozaki-san and me, and then... Okay, 4 people. Just after saying that, Sonozaki-san slipped off her sandals and returned to the assembly room. Oh. Katana? Sonozaki pulled something from her kimono and sat it in my hand. Oh, it's a gun. Okay. It was small, cold, and surprisingly heavy. I looked down at my hand, trying to discern what I was holding, and then froze. Guns are very illegal in Japan. Just in case. Yeah, you know. Someone's doing something malicious. At least one of you motherfuckers. Okay. It gotta shoot Yay. Bro, if it's not Yay, I'll feel bad. It just feels like it has to be a process of elimination. Unless it's her boyfriend, but I don't know, that's kind of lame. Though maybe it's less lame if you get bad endings. Anyways, thanks Shion. Sonozaki-san apparently had nothing else to say, so she walked out of the assembly hall bursting with laughter. I looked down at the gun in my hand. This isn't a toy, right? It's a real gun. I'd seen and heard about them many times in fictional contexts, but this was my first time holding a real one. After holding a gun for the first time, it felt much heavier than I imagined. It's a deterrent for none of you motherfuckers who try something sketchy while she's away. Or if the demons come. Otobe's voice trembled as he stood next to me. I squeezed the gun and gave him that curt reply, then returned to the hall. Miyuki-chan and Tawada-san both gasped when they saw what I was holding. Miyuki-chan was staring me down while I gave that dejected answer. Tawada-san looked frightened too, timidly peering at me the whole time. Well, that seemed like the natural reaction. Or a natural reaction. It's because they're freaking Yakuza. Shion has to be strapped after what happened to Akane. She has a katana, man. I'm not scared for her. Miki-chan stared at the gun in my hand for a while, then turned to me with a concerned expression.
何が
いえ、大丈夫ならいいんですけど。
We all returned to our previous seats without saying anything more. What was Miki-chan trying to say? Can Ryunosuke-san handle a gun? Was that the meaning behind her, "Are you feeling alright?" I'm fine, I'm familiar with guns, you know, just never touched one. Well, from movies and manga anyway. I gazed down at the gun in my hand. The safety was still engaged. How do I unlock it? Well, I'll figure it out somehow. I considered trying it out, but I stopped. I didn't want to misfire and cause another miserable accident. Do you mean another? In the end, I'm probably just scared. Miki-chan's concern wasn't unreasonable.
本物ですかここでおもちゃを渡されてどうしろって言うんだ
She is a memer, though.
です
But
よ
I think it's real. Otobe anxiously stared at the gun in my hand. I wish Sonozaki-san had given him the gun instead. In that case, I'd be half teasing him, half making jokes in a panic.
ミオンさんどこまで行ったんでし
Who
ょう
knows where her car is, man? Feel like she was lying about the distance. I think it's far away.
さあなすぐ戻ってくるだろ車探しに行っただけなんだしさ
どうして銃を荒川さんに預けたんでしょう。
I feel like it's obvious. No?
だからわかんねえよそんなこと
About demons or whatever? Someone's being naughty.
もしもの場合に備えてって言ってたけど
It's just a precaution. Wasn't Arakawa literally saying, like, for the last couple episodes, he's scared because he thinks they're all gonna die tonight if they don't contact someone? I feel like a gun's a good deterrent, man. It's a good defense option.
もしもの場合ってどんな時なんですか
So why we all, like, I guess they don't want to think about it.
俺に聞くなってだからあの人はそれを教えてくれなかったの
These questions were starting to annoy me. So I stood up with the gun still in hand.
どこへ行くんですか？
トイレ
My dude cannot control his temper, man. He gets annoyed easily. I'm kind of the same, though, to be honest. I rush out of the assembly room. I'd rather not use this thing if at all possible. I mean, is this actually the real thing? The gun in my hand was starting to feel like just a toy. If I pulled the trigger, a stream of water might just burst out. I wanted that to be the truth. I mean, if Sonozaki thinks that one of us is, like, doing sketchy shit, then a fake gun is actually a pretty good deterrent, because they'd be very hesitant to try some shit. My thoughts continued to focus on Sonozaki-san as I made my way into the cobweb-littered bathroom. If Sonozaki-san is actually dead, she's the ghost of the demon that wanders this village, is this a ghost gun? That's absurd. The extreme weight of the gun brought me back to the more realistic train of thought. This gun was strong evidence against the theory of Mion Sonozaki being a ghost. Truthful statement? If she was the spirit of a demon living in Hinamizawa, she wouldn't have a gun. I mean, I don't think she'd have a katana, too, but... Well, I mean, I guess. I guess it's more traditional. But it's not like she's an ancient ghost if she was a ghost, right? Like, I didn't see, like, olden days, but... Yeah, anyways. I did see a spirit wielding a katana but not carrying around a gun, although I should cast aside my preconceived notions. Still, if she had a gun this entire time, couldn't she have easily killed people? That is a true statement. She had a gun so she could easily kill people, but what does that have to do with anything? If the people who made our cars disappear tried to make any trouble, she could have shot them with this. Or was this supposed to be a challenge? My dude's lost in the sauce.
命を落とすのはどっちかな。
Surely. Please don't just shoot her when she comes back for no reason. Could that be a reason for handing me this gun? Ridiculous. Yeah, it's dumb. Even after all that thought, I still didn't understand anything. I took a deep breath and peered through the small bathroom window. The shrine grounds were pitch black, so I couldn't see anything. At least that should have been the case. Ghost Rika? However, contrary to my expectation, there were people just outside the window. And not only that, but our eyes met. Excuse me? This has to be some some syndrome shit, right? Some Hinamizawa syndrome stuff. He's clearly been getting it because of the footsteps from earlier. They stared at me for a little while, but as soon as I started to move, they quickly ducked down and disappeared. Oh god. Every drop of blood in my body froze in an instant. My heart started pounding. I didn't have the courage to shout, "Who's there?" at my adversary. On top of that, my legs were frozen. Get a hold of yourself. What are you doing? There's someone out there. I tightly clenched the gun in my hand. My palm was dripping with so much sweat that the heavy gun was likely to slip out at any moment. I cautiously peered out the window once more, but it looked like nobody was there anymore. However, when I gazed into the darkness, the signs were still there. All I had to go on was light leaking out of the assembly hall window, but I desperately kept a lookout. How long did it take for my eyes to adjust to the darkness outside the window? 5 minutes? 10? In reality, it was probably just a minute or less. In the shade of the trees, I could make out 5 or 6 people. I mean, let's say he's not going crazy. I could see them being like Shion starred. It's just because, she's a popular person. Or it could be Tokyo Goons. I don't know though. I think he's just crazy. But we'll see. I gently exited the bathroom and headed back to the assembly room, careful not to make any noisy footsteps along the way. Every floorboard that sank underfoot whittled away at my nerves. Whittled. Michi-chan and the others were sitting in the assembly. Still sitting.
龍之介さん、どうしたんですか?
Michi-chan called out to me in a dubious voice when she noticed me quietly tiptoe into the room. No, it might have actually been a perfectly ordinary voice. Miyuki-chan knew nothing of our current situation, so she should have been rather carefree.
もしかして荒川さん、お腹でも壊したんですか？バカ、そんなんじゃねえよ。
Once I realized how loud I was getting, I quieted down in a hurry. Otabe's relaxed tone irritated me, but it made me realize he was doing nothing more than talking normally. To be fair, you just get annoyed at Otabe when he's normal anyways. Calm down. Calm down.
大丈夫ですか? 何が?
どうやら本当にこいつを使うことになりそうだ。
Then I quietly told everyone about the people I saw outside the bathroom window.
よくは見えなかったけど、外にはあと5、6人はいるみたいなんだ。それって本当に人間なんですか?
Not Onis?
どういう意味だよ。僕たちを鬼隠しするために来た死者の霊だった。
Well, hopefully this is a ghost gun then.
銃なんかじゃ太刀打ちできないじゃないですか。バカ、そんなわけねえだろ。どうしてそう言い切れるんですか?
Like, I don't know.
ちゃんと見えなかったんでしょ?
I don't think it matters then. What can you really do?
だったらどうする?
Yeah, I agree with Arakawa. What can you really do? Do we have any charms?
もしも霊なんかだったらこのままやられるしかねえって言いたいのか?
Yeah, if they're ghosts, we're fucked. If they're not, we have a fighting chance. Unless anyone knows some fucking anti-ghost shit to do.
ひょっとして
That moment, Tawada was sitting with her arms around her knees, quietly muttering something.
私が見たのと
Oh my...
同じかも.
She saw ghosts? Excuse me? We're first hearing this now?
私
Actually,
さっき
I mean, I think that it could be crazy, but maybe there are people here. And that's like all the bad endings. They just kill you. Is she undead?
黒っぽい感じの人が何人かこの
Huh.
神社の近くにだから怖くて
This is all fucked up, man. Don't know if I believe them or not. Tawada-san looked terrified, like all the blood had drained from her face. Her eyes were black with dread, and her teeth were chattering. Someone telling a lie wouldn't react this way. I mean,
なら
maybe.
決まりですね
Michi-chan reached into her knapsack and pulled out a dark-colored object. Then she quickly rose to her feet and looked down at me as she spoke.
私見てきます龍之介さん援護できますか
Can we just give Miyuki the gun, man?
あってな
For a moment, I wasn't sure what she meant, but then I was shocked when I noticed what the dark object in her hand truly was. The thing she was holding was a gun? Is she police? Huh. I don't know what I thought. I thought she was just, investigating Hinamizawa for, Akasaka, but maybe, like, she's here on an actual mission or something? Because why else would she actually have a gun? Because again, guns in Japan, super illegal. You cannot own a gun at all. So, I don't know. I feel like she has to be police then or something equivalent. At first I thought she'd taken it from me, but then I verified that the gun Sonozaki-san gave me was still in my hands. Which means the other gun must belong to Miyuki-chan?
みゆきちゃんその銃
説明は後です行きましょう
Okay. Miyuki-chan ignored my question and quietly ran toward the entryway with her gun in hand. I was surprised again by how quickly her body could move.
みゆきちゃんあんた一体何者なんだ
Secret agent. Miyuki. Miyuki-chan's gun clicked as she disengaged the safety in the shadow of the doorway. I was surprised once more by how skillfully her hands moved. I tried to follow Miyuki-chan's lead and undo my safety, but I couldn't get it off.
貸してください
I feel like this is dangerous to let Atasata do it, but but I guess she needs backup. Miyuki-chan grabbed the gun from my hand and quickly flipped the safety.
どうぞ
Thank you. I grabbed the gun as I said that and held it tight. If I pull this trigger, it'll fire a bullet. True words? A bullet that can kill anything it hits. Once I realized that simple fact, the weight of the weapon felt even heavier. The sweat came pouring out of my entire body.
荒川さん大丈夫ですか
Thanks to Otabe. Otabe came rushing toward the entrance. Miki-chan quickly grabbed him by the sleeve and moved her lips close to his ear.
何ですかあなたも手伝って
Okay.
いい
Let's see if Otabe can do something. Feel like he's not good under pressure.
僕は何を乙部君は私がこの扉を開けたら境内の明かりのスイッチを入れてくださいあのスイッチのどれかだからつくまで全部やってくださいはい
After saying only that, Miki-chan put her hand on the door and listened carefully.
右に3人
Oh my god, she's sensing people, but is it real? She can piece together the enemy's whereabouts from just that? Miki-chan's eyes were piercingly sharp, like a wild beast preying on men.
みゆきちゃんあんた一体
その話は後です
Yeah, we're in a dangerous situation, I guess.
目の前のことに集中してください
I think they're Tokyo. If they're Shions, man, it's kind of fucked up. We're trying to pop them.
龍之介さん、行きますよ。
Okay. Pew pew pew. Spray and pray. Spray and pray. Miyuki-chan threw the door open, and at that moment, bang bang bang. The very moment the door came open, I heard sounds reminiscent of exploding firecrackers. Otabe, get down! Otabe flipped all the lights in the shrine grounds all at once, then sprinted back into the assembly hall at full speed. Thank you. The enemies must... Otabe, you know, he did his job. The enemies must have been blinded by the lights. They stopped firing for a moment. Oh my god. What is happening? I'm so confused of what's happening in this story. I am locking in that Miyuki is a detective and not just have an illegal gun or whatever, like an actual like licensed detective. Anyways, there's Miyuki shooting a gun. You love to see it. Then Miyuki-chan leapt out and charged straight toward a large tree out front, took cover behind it, and quickly turned ready to fire. Holy shit! Wait, that's actually that's kind of sick. That looks cool. Crash. I could hear someone groan "ugh" from somewhere off in the distance. Miyuki-chan continued firing, and another 3 dry sounds quickly burst out. Crash, crash. The gunshots sounded far more shoddy than they do in the movies, but a thin trail of smoke was emanating from Miyuki-chan's gun. That's the power of a gun. I couldn't bring myself to move from this spot. I had no idea where to aim or when to pull the trigger. No, that's not it. Don't lie to yourself, Ryonosuke Arakawa. I didn't have it in me to pull the trigger. The hand holding the gun trembled pathetically under the weight of the thing. Bang. A bullet whizzed past my nose and struck the door right behind me. I crouched down and held my arms over my head in a fluster. The bullets struck the spot where I was just standing one after another. We're just bait? We're bait? Miyuki can clean up, we're just bait? Miyuki-chan shouted for me from behind a tree. Oh, she moved up. Immediately thereafter, 4 or 5 bullets struck the tree Miyuki-chan was hiding behind. Phew. When the rain of bullets ceased, Miyuki-chan leaned out from the back of the pit tree and suddenly started firing. Suddenly I started to think. I began to wonder if I had gotten lost in the world of a movie. If these bullets strike me, am I really going to die? My paralysis started to clear up as my sense of reality grew weaker. Thanks to Otabe, the lights in the shrine ground allowed me to see my enemies. Men in black suits running through the darkness. Black suits? Bro, are these Shion men? I couldn't really make out their faces, but I could sense an aura emanating from them, filled with the scum of the earth. What an aura. At least they're human. They're not ghosts of Hinamizawa. I aimed at one of the men in black and pulled the trigger. Pow. The recoil dealt a heavy blow to my shoulder. The bullet didn't strike my target, but the man in black took cover behind a nearby tree. I guess even an amateur like myself can be a threat. As I thought that, I aimed once more at the patch of trees. We're dead. Takechi moment? Time stop? Bullet right in front of us? Miyuki-chan turned back in my direction and shouted. While I was distracted by the man hiding in the trees, another man in black suddenly jumped out in front of me. What the fuck? What the fuck's happening, dude? Shlin? Hey, it's Sonozaki? I guess that's not her, man. I heard a dull sound and looked up to see the man in black collapse as he reached out to me. And standing behind him was Sonozaki-san? Hello. After seeing that, only Sonozaki-san ignored the rain of bullets charged at the men in black with her katana in hand. What is happening? I'm so confused. Anyways, here's Sonozaki killing people with her katana. Here's the real question. Which one are we gonna use, man? How you gonna make me choose? Also, the music change is pretty sick. Her powerful assertion was mysteriously proven true. Not a single bullet struck Sonozaki-san. Sonozaki-san lifted the handle of her sword up through one man's stomach, then struck the man beside him in the neck. The men fell to the ground one after another. Oh my god. Sonozaki-san dispatched the enemies one by one. Her swordplay was as accurate as her footwork, and quick too. The difference in strength was huge. So much so that it was easy to forget she was fighting to the death. Her combat technique was beautiful and overwhelming. Yo, it's Dear You. I didn't notice. It's Dear You played on whatever this instrument's called. A man hiding behind a tree pointed his gun towards Sonozaki-san and carefully pulled the trigger. Cut the bullet! Cut the bullet! No, we got Miyuki on the backup. Bang. The gun flew out of the hands of the man behind the tree. He looked on with terror in his eyes. I could see the smoke rising from Miyuki-chan's gun. I guess I was wrong about all my guesses, and the men in black did something with the cars. And maybe Tawada's not a psychopath, and the men in black just killed Takumi, or whatever his name is. Finally, sensing the difference in strength, the men in black retreated while supporting their wounded companions. Get fucked. I don't even know what just happened, man. Sonozaki-san returned her sword to its sheath, then started heading back to the assembly hall. Miyuki-chan started heading back too, with her smoking gun still in hand. Near the entrance, Sonozaki-san turned to Miyuki-chan and grinned. Bruh, this is literally out of some Hollywood action movie right now. What is happening? Miyuki-chan responded tersely to Sonozaki-san's commendation, then abruptly turned her back. And then the two of them left it at that and entered the assembly hall. I followed behind them and stopped when I noticed something. Enemy? What did she mean by that? Dude, she's police. And she knows she's Yakuza. I doubt they were. Unless she had intel that Sonozaki was going to be there today, which is possible. I stopped in front of the doorway to think it over on my own. You do that, buddy. Okay, let's see what our big-brained protagonist has to say about this. My wandering thoughts seemed to be connected by a single thread. Beyond Sonozaki was the nuts head of the Sonozaki. Okay, he's actually connecting the dots based. Never mind. Sorry for the slander. And of course, her father was a high-ranking Yakuza officer with roots in the Kanto region. And the Sonozaki group was a powerful Yakuza organization centered around Hinamizawa and Okinomiya. I've heard rumors recently that a faction of the Sonozaki group split off from the Sonozaki family, but the people have always misused the Sonozaki name for their own gain. That wasn't anything new. In other words, this is an eternal Yakuza conflict. And the reason Miyuki-chan called Sonozaki-san an enemy was perhaps she might be in league with the enemy Yakuza. Nope, you just lost me. He lost. Dude, I thought he for sure he was trying to say she's a detective after connecting the Yakuza dots. It's a good point, though. Maybe these guys are a split off faction that, uh, you know, ambushed Akane. It's a good thought. Why can't you just think she's police? It would be funny, though, if Miyuki turned into a Yakuza after. That seemed like a reasonable possibility. She seemed adept at handling firearms and had a sharp gaze you'd never seen in an ordinary person, so it made sense if Miyuki-chan were with the Yakuza. As I returned to the assembly hall, Miyuki-chan was wiping her rain-soaked clothes with a cute floral pattern hand towel. I stared at Miyuki-chan's pretty face like a demon stalking its prey, carefully monitoring her movements. No way. Could Miyuki-chan actually be with the Yakuza?
大丈夫ですか?
Surely.
ああ。
龍之介さんも服濡れてるんじゃないですか? 拭いておかないと風邪ひきますよ。
ああ、そうだよな。
Not wanting to sit next to Miki-chan, I took a sit next to Otabe. That's insulting, man. You hate Otabe. I smiled and tried to keep up appearances. If Miki-chan really was a Yakuza member, I had mixed feelings about it.
大変でしたね。びっくりしたでしょう。
That I'm a cop?
そう、ああいうのって初めてだからさ。
You did good, Arakawa. You distracted one guy, and you baited some shots. Honestly, it's all you can really ask for. Even though I was aware of what was going on, I had no idea how to respond, so I quickly threw together a few meaningless words. This day was full of surprises. I wasn't sure which among them was the most surprising. The feeling of holding a pistol with the safety disengaged, a shootout unfolding right in front of my eyes, the existence of those men in black, and Miyuki-chan's true identity. It didn't stretch out Miyuki-chan's true identity. It was a pretty crazy day, though. I don't blame him for that. Everything was far beyond surprising. I was dumbfounded.
龍之介さん、大丈夫ですか?
No, we're in shock.
ああ。
Also, credit to Otabe for turning on the lights. Miyuki-chan gave me a dubious look, but she said nothing more. Chapter end? Okay. This like blew out all my ideas out of the water. To be fair, I think it's reasonable to like, oh my god, tips me? I feel like it's reasonable to assume that one of them was gonna be the bad guy, right? I thought it was gonna be like a more mystery setting. No, you know, this is a new Minato, but it felt like it was building up to that, but I guess it's like gangsters. They sounded like, they gave them the gangster voice too, so. That was fun though. So Miyuki-chan's a police. I don't know why I didn't think she would be a police. I thought she was just soloing it. Anyways, 3 tips before we peace out. I forgot what this one was called. Oh, this was the dozy driver. Around 4:15 p.m. on the 3rd, a truck swerved into oncoming traffic and collided with a passenger car on a country road in Narita, Chiba Prefecture. After the accident, the riders of the passenger car, Tadashi Hyuga-san, 44, his wife Yukito-san, 43, and their second daughter Masai-san, 13, were brought to a hospital, but died soon afterwards due to the bruising suffered across their entire body. Do we know who these are? For some reason I thought, like, I don't know. The driver of the truck, Kazuma Kajimoto, 22, was seriously hurt in the accident and is currently undergoing intensive care but is expected to recover. According to the Narita Police Department investigation, the truck was swerving even before the accident site. The driver, Tajimoto, was suspected of falling asleep at the wheel, and arrested on the charge of negligent manslaughter. According to the acquaintances of the Hyuga family, they're on their way to the airport to pick up their eldest daughter, Machito-san, who is returning home from after graduating in America. They were a happy family. The kids and parents got along so well. Machito-san was really looking forward to coming home, commented the neighbor who was losing her voice from the sudden tragedy. Am I losing my mind? Wasn't Miyuki called Machito? Who's Machito? None of these ring bell. I think it's Miyuki. Guys, this isn't resin. I will trust. It's not resin. Machito? Minor character. Ah, fuck. Okay, my bad. It doesn't matter. You know what? I get it. I get what's happening. I shouldn't have. I knew the name sounded familiar. I would have put it together. Trust me. Don't worry. I read like one line and I'm like, okay, I get it. It's not that big. It's just reasons why the event happened. I won't say it just for like readers along with me, but it's for reasons the event happened. I didn't think they would actually go into details of that. I thought they would just touch on Otobe, to be fair. If your parents, siblings, and other guardians asked if you'd like to become a debt co-signer, you may not think much of it. Ooh, another debt co-signer lesson from Ryutishi. You know, we learned a little bit from Rosa. But yes, you probably should never become a co-signer, unless it's like someone you can really trust. But even then, it's pretty risque. There are many opportunities to act as a co-signer in Japanese society. However, when it comes to joint liability agreements, those shouldn't be decided so easily. Those demanded careful judgments and preparation before accepting. A co-signer and joint liability partner have completely different scope and weight in their responsibilities. A co-signer certifies that a debtor is credible, essentially saying that they trust the person they're acting as a guardian for. On the other hand, a joint liability partner bears all of the same responsibilities as the borrower. Okay, the scope is essentially identical to the debtor itself. Yeah, that's super risky. Oh man. Therefore, when a debtor abandons their obligation to repay their debts or loses the ability to repay, the responsibilities pass on to the joint liability partner. And even if you're not a signatory yourself, there are cases when responsibility is inherited because a parent was a co-signer. Ooh. There's even a risk that a person can become a co-signer for a person they don't know and is forced to repay a massive debt. The joint liability system is unique to the Japanese culture and very much so a product of an older. Okay, I was thinking, like, that sounded crazy. I know about co-signing stuff, but I never heard one where it's just 1-to-1. So it is just an older Japanese thing. Or maybe it's like still in Japan. But yeah, don't do that. And then to that system, people are essentially able to borrow money using people as collateral. So for anyone who has accepted a joint liability agreement or is currently considering accepting one, please understand what it means to become a joint liability partner. But so I'm guessing they're just trying to show the backstories of the 3 people who committed suicide. Because we already guessed this like a billion episodes ago. That Otobe was part of the suicide party and he either like escaped or just chickened out. So Machito, I believe, there's 2 girls. One was like more cheery. I think Machito was the more laid back one. No, she was the cheery one, I think. And I think joint liability, like this could be whoever this isn't. Untimely death of an IT entrepreneur. Masami Hori-san of Hori Consulting, a pioneer of the IT governance boom and IT entrepreneurship, passed away at 1:30 a.m. on the 5th as a result of acute subarachnoid hemorrhage, age 41. Masamichi focused on the importance of IT infrastructure from early on, and was able to accumulate a considerable amount of assets in his role as founder. President Hori's good sense and organizational strength were far beyond any other system engineer. But as a result, he always felt the need to stay heavily involved in the large-scale projects, so he was far too busy to spend any time at home. I wonder if his tireless work at all hours of the day may have contributed to his early death. Why even comment that? Feels like a really weird thing to comment, but okay. Concerned parties lamented his untimely death. On the other hand, the death of Hori Consulting's founder forced the company to once again consider a diversified management structure. Economic critics familiar with the situation pointed out, a company led by a single charismatic founder will be in a pinch after their death. Sometimes the founder's role in a venture capital firm is too large for a proper successor to emerge, and this may be one of those cases. The name Masamichi Hori carries tremendous power. Those closest to the deceased, such as his wife, are at the top of the list of people set to take control of the organization, but the outlook is still uncertain. I don't know which is which. I think this is the girl. This is not the hype girl, the bubbly girl. This is the chill girl on the joint liabilities, the driver. Or it could be Otabe. Maybe. But I feel like they're just saving Otabe. Okay. I mean, cool, but I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I was tempted to look back at tips, but I probably wouldn't anyways. Cool episode. Got a little battle, little Mewtwo pew pew, a little Sonozaki slice. Good stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I assuming we're like close to the end, at least the true end, since we're out of choices, but who knows, man. But yeah, until next time. Will our top... There's no... If Miyuki is a Yakuza, I'm gonna lose my mind. And also, I feel bad. I feel bad about accusing Tawada of shit. I feel like Tawada's just a girl. I feel like I've been mistaken the whole time and she's not some psycho killer. But if she is after all this, my foresight's fucking crazy. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.